Beltz here. I am the founder of Kairos Fellowship Church, an online content community for spiritual seekers worldwide. What was the intention behind Kairos Fellowship? Well, for the last 13 years, I have been the primary producer of content for an evangelical Christian church in the Denver area. But in my own spiritual practice, I have been branching out far beyond the walls of evangelical Christianity. And I found that I wanted to be able to share some of what I've learned, reaching beyond the very narrow scope of what evangelicalism has to offer. I have been very immersed for many years in other spiritual texts than the Bible, including the Tao Te Ching, the I Ching, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Quran, which um, these texts are very, very important to humanity as a whole. And I wanted to create spiritual content that spoke to the wider range of spiritual endeavor in the world and not just narrowed down to the Bible, which is, in fact, a very important text as well. So, coming from the evangelical background, I consider myself a follower of Christ. I try and follow the example of Jesus. But I also know that there's a lot and lot and lot to learn from other spiritual sources. So I wanted to create content which speaks primarily to the Christianity that's at the core of my spirituality, but also to the other spiritual lessons that are being provided by these texts. Like I said, Tao Te Ching, I Ching, Bhagavad Gita, Quran, Dhammapada. I'm familiar with many, many lesser known texts as well. And I wanted to create a well rounded spiritual education for the general public. I know a lot of people in the crazy busy world we live in don't have the ability to fit into their schedule going to a church on Sunday mornings. I know from my own experience working for a church, I was not able to visit any other churches because I was working every Sunday morning. So I wanted to create spiritual content that's available 24/7, 365 days a year. Log in at your own convenience, and you can get high quality spiritual education from the comfort of your own home. And also, finally, I wanted something that would be safe and inviting to folks who may feel on the margins or may feel less accepted going to a traditional church. I know I personally am on the spectrum, the autistic spectrum, and many, many places that I've visited in my life, I do not feel welcome because I'm a little neurodivergent. I'm a little weird, and I wanted to create a place where it's safe to be weird from the comfort of your own home or wherever you choose to be logging in from. And finally, I wanted to create a resource that's as accessible as possible. You don't have to sign up for anything. Just bookmark the web page and log in and maybe check back every so often as we'll be creating an ever expanding library of hopefully uplifting and content that speaks to you at your core. It's about the heart. It's about trying to live a compassionate life that balances mercy with justice. Mercy without justice is enabling, and justice without mercy is cruel. We want to find that place right in the center, that middle path, the place of balance where we can be well adjusted individuals making our highest contribution to the world and to our fellow human beings, and trying to do that from a heart centered place of love and compassion. So, welcome to Kairos Fellowship. We'll be having occasional live events. Um, so, stay posted, and thanks for joining the community. And again, I'm Baker Beltz. I am the founder and CEO, Chief Entertainment Officer. I'm going to be putting some hopefully entertaining spiritual content up on this website as well. To start out with, please listen to the really big story. It is my attempt to make the complete narrative of the Christian Bible as accessible as possible through a humorous and somewhat satirical story. And you'll find that right below this video in this About page. But that's all for now, and I will see you in future content. Peace. Baker Beltz, logging out.